We're putting the Moonwatch head-to-head with
the Snoopy Speedmaster.
And we're getting RJ from Fratello to adjudicate who's going to win.
I'm confident on this one, guys. Let's get in there.
Welcome back to another Speedmaster Stories with my man Justin Hast.
Good to be here, guys. Thanks for joining us.
London in summer, right now. Describe what's happening right now in this space.
So we've come in, we've been in here for a few hours. We've had Football World Cup going on the big screen. We've then had Wimbledon tennis going on the big screen.
Yep.
We've had upset after upset after upset this week. And selfishly, we're still in the mix. The English team.
When he says we, he's not including Australia.
No,
sadly.
Oz are out. But when it comes to sport, any opportunity we have to get one up over Oz, we'll take. Because I'm a huge cricket fan, I'm a big rugby fan. We don't, in recent years, haven't had many moments. We've struggled.
Yeah.
Especially in Oz. So we'll take these times and we'll celebrate them. And I'm sure there'll be many others out there that will agree with that. But look, the bottom line is it's been super hot in the city. And no one can explain what happens to London in the heat, in the sun.
Yeah.
People come out the woodwork that were not seen for the preceding months of the year.
Hiding them, covered in Canada Goose. There's flesh everywhere. I mean, we're looking down on Oxford Circus now. If there's momentary distractions, it's because there's just so much going on.
Dr. Brian Cox knows more about the universe and the solar system than we know about how London manifests and changes in heat and becomes this wonderful, vibrant energy. So yeah, we're all buzzing.
That's how you've been described many times. Wonderful, vibrant energy. To add to the vibrant energy of the city, to the fact that Britain won its way through to the next round of the World Cup.
Don't say Britain. Don't say Britain.
Okay.
Don't say Britain.
What are we saying?
England.
Okay. England also won at Wimbledon today against all odds into the quarters. It's madness. I'm adding someone else to that mix. I'm adding Robert Jan Brewer.
Yes.
Fratello and the Speedmaster King. So if we're talking Speedmasters, it almost feels like we should set a place at the table for him like Jehovah.
Yeah.
Just empty, but hoping he turns up.
Much like Apollo 13, when they had to rethink their re-entry, you have rethought our approach into this episode today.
I have. And
the flight plan's changed. The
flight plan is fucking...
the flight plan's changed.
I'm going to need to get that again because we need that for the speed dating part. But no, it's gone because RJ has changed everything. I had a little chit chat with RJ and my plan was to actually gazump you. It was to just really unfairly and without any announcement say, and well, here's what RJ thinks. And I was going to play a voice message of RJ in this episode. However, two things happened. Number one, Fratello, just by pure coincidence today, posted a story listing the 4 best modern Speedmasters. So, did you happen to see that post?
I did.
We only got 50% right, according to Fratello. In fact, we got 25% right because there were 3 other models that we didn't have. They do have the white dial.
Yep.
They do have the first Omega in space.
Yes.
They do have the Moonwatch, but the Heslite closed caseback. But then, and they have 5. They have this. They have the Speedy, and then they have the Ed White, which is the caliber 321, which is it's almost like a haute horology execution, as in the movement itself is stunning. There's hand finished elements to the movement. Everything about the dial and the applied elements are just at another level of polish. It is a stunning. I'd say it's sort of the higher end Speedmaster.
That takes us back to the origin story of the Apollo missions, and so for the hardcore out there and the enthusiasts out there, it's got a real soft spot in the hearts.
Yes, we didn't include that.
We didn't include that because actually, and look, I didn't appreciate. So this Snoopy, it retails for £10,000. 10.8 trades for more than that on the secondary. Although at the peak, what we established was that actually at the peak it was double that.
30,000
more than double
euro.
That. More than double
It was triple. So it's now 10.8 at the height of Snoopy 3 madness because this is the third silver Snoopy celebration.
2003.
Yep.
2015.
Yes.
And 2020.
2020, which was, as you can remember, everything was going haywire in 2020 in the watch world. Prices for a blue Vacheron Overseas, prices for an AP Royal Oak Jumbo, prices for Daytona. Everything was in. It was just like watching AI stocks 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago. Just this can't continue, and it didn't.
Yeah.
But the price has now come back to, but all of our choices are between 6.6 and 10.8.
Yep.
So we've kept quite a tight band on our Speedmasters. However, the Ed White does bring in, it's an extra 50%. It's 14.5. So we didn't include that. But then it just made me think, okay, Fratello, that's bizarre that they've done this right as we do this episode.
And RJ didn't realize we were filming any.
He didn't realize, no idea. Because, I mean, we teased a little bit, but he doesn't really know. So I messaged him and said, RJ, I miss you. I haven't spoken to him for 6 months, but one of the longest times in 12 years. We have ailing mothers at the moment, which is a sad connection, but I wished him well and said, I hope everything's cool. Haven't spoken to you in a while. I have a challenge for you. Tell me, what are the 2 Speedmasters that people come to you as the presidente? Like, because he really is. He's the Speedmaster.
For anyone who doesn't know, RJ, he's the founder of Fratello in the Netherlands, but they've become the authority on Speedmasters. And they may have done, I'm not saying they may, they did do Speedy Tuesday. So they coined that Speedy Tuesday movement, and then the watch, of course, which was a smash hit.
Yes, and they're purists. They're
purists.
Both of their Speedy Tuesday editions, which, by the way, are highly collectible. And the first one I had in my cart, and I decided to kick it out of my cart because you could choose your number of the first one. And it's the only time my wife's ever seen me throw a phone. I wanted 32, which is my favorite number. I have no idea why it's my favorite number. It just feels good. And I had it in my cart, kicked it out, went for 32, and they were all gone. It was just one of those moments where I was like, I kept reshuffling the number generator, and it said out, 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 and then eventually it just said sold out. So I threw my phone across the room. It was so.
Did it survive?
It was fine. Yeah. I threw it at a couch. It was sort of a It was.
So basically, what you're saying here,
it was a low commitment.
Let's be completely honest. You've pre-gamed. You've brought in a friend who's an expert, and now what we've decided to do is amalgamate your 2 picks.
Yeah.
Whereas
my just steered me back on a track. That was a great feeling.
It's all right.
Thanks,
no, hold tight. I know you're enjoying the heat's got to you a little bit.
Tangents.
But the fact of the matter is, my 2 picks have independent episodes which you may or may not have seen. And so what we thought was actually for this episode we'd amalgamate your 2 picks and go head to head.
I would effectively put in the mix the 2 watches. RJ, Speedmaster King.
Yeah.
Should I get this or this? And it turns out the question he gets asked the most is, should I get the traditional Moonwatch or the Speedmaster Snoopy? And this is the dilemma that he has to solve for people, which he did mention sounds kind of, to him, is a little bit odd because they're so different.
Yeah.
This is characterful, cartoonish. It has an animation that we're going to talk about versus the absolute, like
the classic,
the icon, the quintessential. There's nothing. They're just character-wise. If these are 2 people, they're dramatically different people. So I have a voice message from RJ where he says what his choice would be, but this episode's now going to be about us arguing for. Or discussing the options here.
Can I throw you a question before we dive in any deeper? Snoopy's connection to NASA and to Omega, can you just give us a brief on that? Because looking in from the outside, and I think part of the journey of this series for me has been coming closer to Omega and to the Speedmaster, which I haven't done for a few years. So tell us about the connection that Snoopy has, this dog from Peanuts.
Yeah, so Jack Swigert and Jim Lovell, 2 astronauts in space, they need to manually time an engine burn at a particular moment in order to guide their stricken vessel without the help of computerization or anything back onto a course that's going to allow re-entry. And this is in 1970. So this team of astronauts pull this feat off, they land back on Earth safely, and this becomes the Silver Snoopy Award is a NASA reference to this incredible feat by NASA in 1970 of landing these astronauts and of their own achievement. And it becomes this sort of mascot of prevailing under, adversity. And it's a really cute symbol. Do you know more about the Snoopy?
I heard that the illustrator and the creator actually didn't charge NASA for the use either, because it was just that there was alignment there and he wanted it to be part of the story.
The part of this that's kind of crazy though, and again, these are the moments where you just think, is this real life? I met Jim Lovell. I've met this astronaut and shaken his hand. I went to an incredible trip, top 3 of all time for me. I went to NASA in Houston to see Jim Lovell speak about this particular moment. And he described the horizon line. He described looking at his Speedmaster and having to rely on this rudimentary tool, analog tool, to know exactly when he and Jack were going to coordinate this, just to stop it at the right trajectory in order for because it didn't need to be propelled towards re-entry. It just needed to be set on the right trajectory, and then nature would take its course, or gravity would take its course, and it would re-enter through the atmosphere. So I'm actually connected to this this watch, which surprised me, because in all of the novelty of Snoopy and the fact that there'd been the first one, which had it really just had a Snoopy mascot in one of the subdials. The second one got a lot of attention, which was released the year I went to that event.
Yep.
It had a luminous Snoopy on the subdial, and then in 2020 they literally took it to the moon with their efforts by having this animation. Yeah. So it is one of these funny things that now that I've learned that and realized I've met the man this effectively is based on, I feel like I want the watch. In short,
there's a small Easter egg here as well on the strap, which I don't think that you were aware of, but this is the journey sort of embossed in on the back from that Apollo 13 mission.
Yeah,
embossed on the back.
So let's show the people. I mean, let's get straight to the chorus here, because what this effectively has, which is the first thing you will ever do if you encounter the silver Snoopy, which does have a silver step dial, is
solid silver dial.
Yeah, and stepped. Traditionally it was brass, but this is a solid silver dial. And when you first depress the chronograph pusher, you'll think nothing's happened, because there's a good 3 or 4 seconds of nothing, and then boom.
Before he emerges. Look at him.
He emerges. That is simply that there's a transparent hand that is attaching that shuttle to the second hand.
Yep.
So it's actually just connected. If you look at the journey of the second hand, this is connected to that second hand. It's a very simple animation, but it brings to life this story. And once again, I just think, man, I am old.
So Earth, in fact, is in perpetual motion. So that's the running seconds, which, as you can look through on the dial side, you'll see is the running second subdial at 9 o'clock. So that, for me, adds another twist in the tale of the story from the caseback side.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be actioning the chronograph to see something interesting, but also just the illustration, the way it's been visualized as well is beautiful. And then you've got the script at the top, eyes on the stars, at 12.
Yeah.
And actually when you draw back from this particular watch in the watchmaking world, automaton watches, sort of watches with motion action to them, tend to be extremely expensive.
Yes.
Because the technical aspect, the power needed to move certain things. Yeah. Even something like a big date, or I'm thinking about the Zeitwerk here, where you've got to action something, it takes a lot of power, and as a result, that tends to be the reserve of high horology.
Your erotic watch collection.
We've got a few interesting elements here. We've got the blue ceramic, the tachymeter bezel.
Yes, that's ceramic.
Which does it does catch the light beautifully.
Versus aluminium here. Yep.
Blue markers, blue subdials.
Yep.
Blued hands. There's a fair whack of blue strap.
Yep.
You and I touched on the fact that we've never actually owned a watch with contrasting subdials before. Yeah. So it's interesting to me that this is the watch.
I'm not a panda guy or a reverse panda guy.
Yeah. And I'm not even looking at it honestly when it comes to contrasting subdials. That's what I'm thinking more so than even the panda. Like I actually I'm not naturally drawn to that. Whereas for me, matched subdials just feels like it works better.
Yeah.
I guess from a visual perspective, maybe not as legible necessarily with contrasted subdials, because the blued hands sort of disappear in some ways.
I actually wonder where you'll land with this little mini sort of battle today, because we really do. This is hardly apples to apples, is it?
Well, there's a price difference, isn't there? So 7.5-ish GBP on that one.
6.6 on bracelet.
6.6, yeah. On strap. And I think, to be honest, as much as I have talked in a previous episode about how much I love this bracelet, I would say that in this instance, I actually like it on strap. because the head really, often what you find when a watch doesn't have a bracelet, it exaggerates the design of the case. And I like the classicism of this execution. And I love the painted hands, the contrast on that dial. And to me, can we swear?
Yeah.
Don't fuck around with a classic.
Yeah.
That's my sense. I'm a bit of a sucker for classics. And also, we touched on this when it came to white dials. White dials tend to make the watch feel a bit bigger. This black dial makes it feel a little bit smaller. And that's my trajectory right now, is towards smaller case sizes. So that's why am I giving it away? I've probably given it away right now, what I'm picking out of these two.
It was never in doubt to me.
But you're going to tell us what RJ picks as well, right?
I am. So we're going to get to RJ. We're going to do some speed dating first.
I've got some questions for you.
Okay.
Is that okay for the speed dating?
I think I'm done. Let me ask you about the bracelet, because you mentioned this is a new development. This is only from 2024. This is called the Nixon bracelet. And if you're wondering why that is, this bracelet was introduced on a watch that was gifted to Nixon in gold. He had to refuse the watch. It's a funny story.
Doesn't it go into the museum? I thought there was, for present, I'm only thinking now because I won't say his name, but because we might get accused of sort of a party political broadcast of some kind. But I thought that gifts were sort of then meant to be, actually they could be accepted, but they were then going to go into a museum. So he couldn't take ownership of it, but it could be kept in.
Well, it was enough of a connection for it to be called the Nixon bracelet. But RJ, to bring him back into the conversation, wrote a review of this bracelet because he found it so comfortable and so excellent. And the taper on it is aggressive. This is at least 2 or 3 millimeters of taper from the lug width of the bracelet here, which is 20 mil, down to, I think this would be 16. I'm guessing. But the bracelet on the new standard Moonwatch dramatically improved. Like this is almost like a Jubilee style bracelet in terms of the bulbousness of the links and the contrasting finishings.
I've thoroughly enjoyed wearing it because we've had some time with them, and that I've really enjoyed. And naturally, I'm not a bracelet kind of guy. That's the Loosh one that hangs.
It is.
That hangs low. But
I need a few more arm days.
But I like that. I really do. Okay, speed dating. So I'm gonna shoot from the hip here because I've got a few thoughts. So strap or bracelet when it comes to Speedmaster?
I'm going to go the new Nixon bracelet all day.
Okay.
I do think, though, it's a strap monster. I think this watch on a beaten up leather strap does bring that petrol station scenario back in, where you've got a nice pair of well-worn-in boots, a pair of jeans, white t-shirt, some red wings. And then I think it's a tough call, but this Nixon bracelet, I get why RJ started this story by saying, this is awkward. I'm writing a watch review of a bracelet, but that's how good this Nixon bracelet is. So I'm kind of with him. It's extraordinarily silky, and the articulation. This is all a bracelet should be judged on is this test, which is the Davide Serrato test. Does it actually wrap the whole finger with not a micron of air? This is silky. It's superb.
Almost magnetized in some way.
Oh my goodness.
What's the best bit of design that you wouldn't know until you wore a Speedmaster for a period of time? What's that one piece of design you've noticed on the watch that only you will have noticed having worn the watch, not through the photos or read the stories?
Justin, these are far too meaningful questions for a date. Legibility, it's superb. Like the monochrome color scheme is not going to set your world on fire. It's not going to change any of your outfits. But I consider, the other thing I'd say is, so the legibility is super high. The elegance, I do think I'm going to accept a Speedmaster with a suit, but I'm 100,000% going to block any attempt to wear a Submariner with a suit. Do not ever do it. It is my number one. Basically, any professional Rolex with a suit just looks awful in my opinion. Whereas I feel that there's a slightly subdued nature to this. It's all brushed, the dial's matte, the bezel's not ceramic. This is suit worthy. So I would say that's another thing that surprises me when you have it on the wrist. It's like, actually, it wears its height really well. And because of all of the subdued elements, I'm gonna go suit duty on this. So I could wear this on a date for sure.
Would you go rolled lugs, twisted lugs, or would you go straight lugs?
Twisted lugs.
Twisted lugs.
All day, every day.
Wow, okay.
If the lugs ain't twisted, this baby ain't been near the moon. So while I appreciate the elegance and charm of a straight lug Speedmaster, That's a pre-moon.
It's a different beast. It's a different beast.
It's a different beast.
Okay. Final question. If you had the opportunity, if the CEO at Omega, what are you adding to the Speedmaster to make it your own? What's that little niggle you've got in your mind that's got to live out?
Hello, Mr. Eichlerman. You're kidding me.
How many units? 20,000?
You're finally going to accept our proposal for a Speedmaster. Amazing. I'm just working on that with my friend Justin. I'll come straight back to you. So I'm going to cease and desist with any more moon storytelling. Okay. With the Time+Tide edition of the Speedmaster, absolutely no. It's going to go down the path of the white dial, which is purely here to offer an aesthetic change. I'm going to do a micro bead blasted titanium Speedmaster.
Okay.
With a white lacquer dial.
Okay.
Stealth grey, fully brushed white lacquer dial. And I'll choose a different pop of colour for Speedmaster, not red. I might bring out a blue highlight to give you that grey and blue, first Omega in space kind of vibe in terms of the colour scheme. But I'm just going to push it into completely new territory, which is what we like to do. The Aqua Racer, the Sundowner was micro bead blasted titanium with a fabric strap. Yep. So I would just shoot for the moon. Thank you very much. Try the veal. Please leave by the ear.
No.
Yeah.
But we just said it had no reference. No. So you're going no reference to the moon, but you're going for aesthetic change. Might I be as bold as to say, in the hand, probably an entirely new feel, right?
An entirely new feel. But again,
I
think this proves. Yes, stealthy like the Black Hawk. Yeah. But I don't have any issue. This watch catches no strays from me for being zero provenance or zero connection to the moon. Yes, the Alaska project is referenced, but I have no problem with this just being, you know what? It's a white dial version. It's an iconic watch. We're going to do something that just looks good. I'd love to see a micro bead blasted titanium Speedmaster with a white lacquer dial.
I'm sure there's someone in the Time+Tide team that could mock that up so we can have a little overlay.
I'm going to get Pietro to do that.
Okay.
I hadn't never even thought about that call coming in because it's not really what Omega do. But then I feel like in 24 that changed with this dial.
So let's close by touching on what RJ said. So when he's asked by people for the head-to-head.
Yep. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
My favorite Speedmaster between the classic Moonwatch with a black dial and white bait and hands and the new Silver Snoopy Award. Well, new, it's the 50th anniversary one from 2020. So it's actually the third Silver Snoopy Award watch that Omega did. If I have to pick between the two, I would still go for the classic Speedmaster Professional Moonwatch with a Hasselite crystal, perhaps with a sapphire crystal, so you can have a look at the movement through the see-through caseback. But since I already have a few Speedmasters where I can see the movement, I think I would go for the classic one in this case. Because for me, it represents what the Speedmaster Professional stands for. If I think about the Moonwatch, it is that 42mm hand-wound black chronograph that is super legible, and for me that's just a classic design. White hands on a black dial. The printing is in white, and to me that's the classic. And the Silver Snoopy Award, I think it's a super cool variation, especially with animation on the caseback. I think that's very neatly done. But for me that's a variation, so that it would always be an addition if I already have a regular classic Speedmaster Professional. So that would not be my only one or the first one that I would purchase. So I would always go for the classic one, whether that's the current one, which I think is one of the best actually, or that's a vintage 145022, or even with a 321, so 105012 from the 60s. Those are for me the classic Speedmasters, and those will always be my first pick, to be honest. And Snoopy is super cool. I have all three, and I think the second one with all white dial and the last one are definitely super nice additions to have in any serious Speedmaster collection.
Brilliant.
RJ, and then he rubs salt into the wounds by showing that he has all three in the hand there. Thank you, RJ. The king has spoken. There is one more thing about this Nixon bracelet that I have to mention, which is that it has micro adjust. And I don't care about micro adjust until I have a watch, and then it really bothers me. Zach Blass cares all the time. And the ease of this micro adjust is a press here, and then it's simply a slide here. Yeah. It's really easy.
Yeah.
So there you go. That settles it. But where are you? Like, I know where you are. Having heard all of that, I'm still going to go to the Snoopy.
Yeah.
But the provenance of the Snoopy for me, and having met Jim Lovell, that tips me. I would not wear it on this strap though. It's a cool Easter egg to have this trajectory map on the back, but I am wearing this on a Nixon bracelet. So in RJ's review of this watch, he talks about going straight to the Omega boutique and changing this for a Nixon bracelet for €700 more. Okay. So for just €700 more, you can dress this up. I'm doing that. The stories around this watch to me are irresistible. I have 3 daughters under 12. I'm hitting that chronograph, and they're gonna love Daddy, you wearing that watch? Can we show our friends? So I'm Snoopy, and you're
and I'm classic. Just
and you and RJ are classic.
Yeah, for the same reasons, and for me, because it would be the one and only in the collection. I think you've just got to go classic.
Yeah.
Classic.
I think I've done, Marcus, I don't know, hundreds of head-to-head reviews. I think that's the best one I've ever been a part of.
Yeah.
Not only did we sink into the subject, but bringing RJ in, the various dramas that occurred along the way.
I think from the very start, we probably both had very, very different views on which one we really liked.
Yeah.
And why we would want to defend it. So I'm now excited to get into the comments below because I can see it's going to kick off down there. And
I'm going to put a poll down there and it'll be live. So when you see this video, vote immediately because the polls close after a few days. But please do vote. Yep. I can't pick this one.
Guys, you're going to save, look, I mean, geez, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, 3-ish, best part of 3,000 quid.
I'd like to know also, tell us in the comments, what's the reality of ordering a Snoopy? We didn't go to a boutique.
No.
Well, we did go to a boutique to get the watches.
But not to pick one of those up. So we don't know on
And
Snoopy.
also, unless I put like a non-Andrew or Justin sort of latex mask on, things are different for me when I ask. It'll be like, yes, sir, here is one, Andrew.
Somewhere.
And sometimes the waiting time can be a little shorter for the watches that we want. But tell us in the real world, how long are the wait?
Yeah. Thanks for that, Robert. I genuinely was picking stuff up left, right, and centre, and just spending time with them has been brilliant.
It was cool.
Yeah, really excited, guys, to get in there. So thanks for joining us, as always.
Speedmaster Stories, there's 4 of these. Watch them all and tell us what you think. We are here in the comments, and we're going to be on another one soon.
Yeah. Cheers.